Okay, one of the things we need to know about is consumer protection. And that's all about making sure that the law is right to protect customers and consumers so they're not taken advantage of. But it also protects businesses as well. Okay, the first law we need to know about is the Sale of Goods and Services Act. And that's all about when you buy a product, it's got to be as described. So for instance, if you buy something from eBay, which is a blue Mini, when it turns up and it's a green Mini, that's against that law. Okay, it's also got to be fit for purpose. So for instance, if you buy a toaster and you put bread in it, you expect the bread to turn into toast and you expect it to warm up. So if it has to be fit for purpose, and if it doesn't do that, then it's against this law. The second law is the Consumer Protection Act, and that's all about when you've got to make sure that a product doesn't harm somebody. So if it hurts somebody and it injures them, then it's against this law. So for instance, like a laptop. If a laptop sets on fire while you're using it and burns the house down and injures someone, that's against the Consumer Protection Act. The third one is the Competition Act. Remember we talked about Asda and Tesco's fixing the price of milk so that the consumers have to pay more. Okay, they're not allowed to price fix, and that is against the Competition Act. The fourth one is the Consumer Protection Act, and that's all about distance selling. So for instance, the internet. On the internet, if you're selling something, you've got to give clear information, and you have to provide it in writing as well. You also have to give them a cooling off period. So for instance, they can say they don't want it within a certain time and send it back. Because remember, they can't see it, touch it, taste it or feel it through the internet. They can't try it on. The last one is about unfair trading regulations. So adverts must not mislead. So remember we talked about a product has to be on full price for a certain amount of time to be able to then put it onto a discount or on an offer. Okay, so you can't pretend to customers and do an advert, oh it's on for half price. It mustn't mislead people. When they get there, it has to be half price. So that's the fifth one. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of those laws for businesses? Okay, one advantage is that consumers will have confidence to buy those products. They know those laws will protect them. If the Mini turns up and it's green, they know they can do something about it, send it back, get a refund, or get a blue Mini. Okay? The second one, it reduces risk of loss of customers. So it reduces the risk that the customers won't come back to you. Okay. It also prevents unfair competition. So it also prevents Tesco's and Asda trying to fix prices, and therefore the smaller shops like the Co-op would have to put their price of milk up as well. It stops that from happening, and that's a good thing for businesses. One of the bad things is it's very expensive to try and meet those laws. To abide by those laws, businesses have to spend money to make sure that they meet them. If a business makes any errors, then they will get fined. Okay, the law will come down hard and they will get fined. Okay, so that might be expensive. Another bad thing is it's very time consuming to try and meet and match those laws. Okay, so there's your advantages and disadvantages to businesses of those laws being there to protect the consumer and the business.